Hi everyone, I'm Doug Black, editor at Inside HPC. We're at the SC24 conference in Atlanta. And with me is Sunita Chandrasekaran and Jack Wells. Sunita is a professor at the University of Delaware, and Jack is the director of the Higher Education and Research Business Unit at NVIDIA. So, welcome.
Thank you.
And we're here to talk about OpenACC organization. Sunita, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about ACC's mission and your role within it.
Thank you very much for having us here. My role with OpenACC is I'm a user group chair in the organization, where the idea is to drive the OpenACC organization, the specification and all of it from a user standpoint, meaning understand what the user needs are in the HPC space, and now it's all going towards AI, and then we see too much of AI and LLMs everywhere. So what does it all mean, right? How do we bring it back home? How do we find out what the users need? And we take those feedback, and we have been evolving the last several years of what we want to become as the field grows over a period of time.
Jack, tell us about your role within the organization.
Yeah, hi. My role within OpenACC is I serve as president of the organization. It's a community organization of institutions in higher education, scientific computing, institutions like universities, national laboratories, industry, and that was formed about 13 years ago around a directives-based approach to accelerated computing, OpenACC. But from the beginning, education and training was intrinsic into the activities associated with the programming model, with the standard. And that has grown tremendously over recent years, especially as AI has come in. And so now we have a very robust training and upscaling opportunities for individuals in high performance computing and artificial intelligence.
And, Sunita, I understand the mission of ACC is expanding and the organization is growing. Tell us a little bit about that broader mission.
Thank you. So we have been focusing a lot on the training angle, like Jack was mentioning, and that is so vital. And with my teaching hat on, I think it's important to build the next generation workforce, expose them to what's happening in the HPC-AI space. I teach an architecture course, so we say more and more about the state of the art, the current trends in the HPC and AI space. So to that end, the Open Hackathon, they've been running many hackathons throughout the year. We work with a lot of teams from across the globe, and it's a very wonderful setting because you talk to mentors, there is students, there are mentors, they talk to each other, you build networking, you build community, and that leads to internship opportunities, job opportunities, the organization's growth, right? And we also get lots of feedback while we're sitting together and working on codes as to how do we improvise as we go. And that's been the motto from the very beginning, and since it's evolving into the AI space, I think we are going more and more in that angle.
And Jack, of course, NVIDIA is right at the convergence of HPC and AI, being the leader in GPUs. And I assume I assume that you're bringing that kind of orientation and expertise with you as you work with the ACC.
Yeah, this is all done in an open consortium, but yes, NVIDIA is very active. The important priority at NVIDIA has historically been supporting developers, and the OpenACC is very much developer or researcher, scientist focused, trying to enable those people to get more science done more readily. And so it's a natural motion for NVIDIA to participate in this community because we can leverage our expertise, subject matter expertise, with those of other institutions, other industry partners, other universities, other national laboratories, to have a bigger impact than we could have by ourselves.
And looking at the situation now, the convergence of HPC-AI, such a vital theme and a vital issue. Are there any particular challenges you all see that ACC can help address, either from a technical perspective or in any other way?
Yeah, certainly. I think the couple of initiatives or the couple of ways to, there's multiple challenges, right? And the space is growing beyond what we can keep up. And in the very same perspective, in the state of Delaware, I'm also vice chairing the State of Delaware AI Commission. And I started noticing they have a ton of data set in different departments, labor, transportation, homeland security, and so on. So there is no dearth of data set, but the challenge is what do you do with them? How do you deal with them, right? How do you process them? How do you analyze them? On the very same note, we also have a new, huge, large grant NSF project where we see the banner right behind me, where the idea is to advance social sciences, political science, finance, so fintech, right? So this requires building of the interdisciplinarity, which is what we have been focusing from the very start with an OpenACC hat on. And that's also the primary focus of these hackathons, which is the reason we even started to do those, right? Where computer scientists talk to non-computer scientists and establish that science communication without which interdisciplinary science cannot win, right? We talk two different languages and it takes a long time before we understand each other. So I guess those are some of the angles we have been trying to focus. And with my UD and Delaware hat on, I'm seeing more and more and more the need where there is that convergence that's required, right? Earlier it was all HPC. Now AI cannot do without HPC, vice versa. So we cannot work in silos. So we have to be, talking to each other.
And Jack, really, certainly the current phase of AI really kicked off 2 years ago this month with ChatGPT. But from your perspective in the business unit within NVIDIA that you're in, I assume you're seeing just a tremendous growth, expansion of excitement and interest among younger people to get into the field.
Yeah, indeed. There is a tremendous interest in AI. There's a tremendous demand for the infrastructure. One very positive trend that I'd like to call out is the National AI Research Resource Pilot that the National Science Foundation is leading. This was created through the President's executive order on AI about a year ago. And the NSF invited industry to participate with a variety of resources. In-kind resources were very welcome. And NVIDIA, in partnership with Open Hackathons and OpenACC, we're contributing hackathons and training to the NAIR pilot to address the need for training. This idea of democratization of access to AI includes a tremendous need for knowledge about how to get started, especially among those communities that haven't been participating. So we're very excited to be able to participate through these national efforts along with other industry partners in training for AI. So there is a big demand. Access to infrastructure is a critical need, and we're trying to show what can happen if we all work together in a cooperative way to make a difference for young people.
If I could chime into that real quick. The NSF grant that I was talking about, it's under the Skype program, and that works very closely with NAIR. And one of the important pieces is the democratizing access is what Jack said, and this is what I wanted to chime into. The project that we kicked off is democratizing access to research software engineers. We call it NSF Darcy, the one that we will be leading at UD, or we started to lead just 2 months ago. And that's exactly the goal, right? We have to build that community, and we have to make sure that the infrastructure access goes wider, which means more training, more workforce development, and more teaching of how to use these newer and newer resources, which only seems to be exploring, right? And we see that every year at SC and beyond.
Okay, so we'll be following the developments at ACC and the work you're doing. If people want to find out more information, where should they go?
They can certainly go to their website, openacc.org, and they can also go to the Open Hackathons website. If you're at SC, do come to our BOF later this evening at 5:15. We have an OpenACC BOF, and we are hosting an OpenACC reception, which we have been doing over the last several years, besides the COVID years, basically to seek feedback, to see what we should do for the next steps, right? Because it's a user-driven community. So if you're interested, drop one of us a note, and we will get you a ticket to the reception.
Okay, Sunita, Jack, thanks so much.